Sometimes for 3 foot you'll mistake it out, then slip by from her bump, down topple she, and Taylor cries and falls into a puff, and then the whole choir hold their hips and laugh, and watch it in their mirth, and gaze and swear, I'll marry her out of the place they there. But Ruth Fairy, here comes Oberon.
And here my mistress with that heel were gone.
All lost to Tanya. Hast thou the flower there? Welcome, wanderer. Aye, here it is. I pray thee, give it me. I know a bank where the wild thyme grows, where eclipse and the nodding violet grows. White oak canopy with luscious woodbine and sweet musk roses and with eglantine. Next leaves Titania sometime of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight, and there the snake grows furry nebbled skin, we wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with this juice I'll strip your eyes. Maker full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it and sink to its grove. A sweet Athenian love, a lady is in love with a slave for you. Anoint his eyes, but do not the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on. Affected with some hair that he may prove more fond on her than she upon her love. Look now, meet the air the first cock crow. Fear not, my lord. Your servant shall do so. vile things near. Farewell, you faint, with wandering in the wood. Truth be told, I have forgot our way. Turn me on if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it soon, Santa, find you out again. For I upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both. One heart, one bed, two bosoms, and one troth. Take the sense of my love takes the lead in love's conquest. I need that my heart continues tight, so that but one heart we can make it. Two bosoms interchanged with them all, so that two bosoms and a single troth. Then by the side, no bedroom we deny, when lying I do not lie. 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 I need that my heart so that here is my bed, sleep, give me all his rest. This is he, my master said, by the Athenian maid, and hear the maiden sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. little courtesy. Churl upon my eyes I throw, all this powerless charm doth flow. When thou wakes, that love forbid, sleep his seat on thy eyelid. For awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon.
I charge thee, lads, and do not want me thus. Still on my peril, I homeward will go.
Who is here? Lysander? On the ground, dead or asleep? I see no blood, no wounds. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake!
Sword.
Do not say so, Lysander, say not so. Not long we love your young lord, yet Hermia still loves you, then be content.
Content with Hermia. No, I do repent. The tedious means I did resent. Not Hermia, but Hannah I love. But not change a raven for a dove. The will of man is by his reason's sway, and reason says you are we all met, packed, and he is marvel's convenient place for our rehearsal.
Oh, marvelous convenient place.
This green plot shall be our stage. This hawthorn break our tiring house, and we shall do it in action as we do it before the Duke. What sayest thou, Billy Bottom?
There are things in this comedy of cleverness and design that will never please. Honest fellows toss and trumps which the ladies cannot abide. I have a device to make all well. Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to say, we will do no harm with our swords, and that Pyramus is not killed indeed. And the better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
If that may be, then all is well. Come sit down, every other son, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin. When you do have spoken your speech, enter into that way, and so everyone according I'll play George, I'll be an auditor, an actor too, perhaps if I recall. Speak, Pyramus. Thisbe, stand forth. Odors. Odors.
Odor savor sweet, so has thy breath, my dearest, Thisbe. But hark, a voice, stay thou but here awhile, and by and I will to thee appear.
Play here.
Must I speak now?
Aye, Mary must you, for you must understand he goes but to see a noise he has heard and is to come again.
Oh, spring, Pyramus goes clearly light of dawn, of color like the red rose on triumphant briar, most frisky, juvenile, and most lovely too. As true his horse that yet would never tire.
Knight's tune! Man, aye, you must not speak that yet. You speak all your parts at once. No! Pyramus, enter. Your cue is past. It is never tired.
Oh,
Again.
as true his horse that yet would never tire.
I will thank Thisbe, I will only lie.
Monstrous, astray, where haunted. Pray, masters, fly! Masters! No. Boom! thee, thou art translated.
I see, they're making me. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me, if they could. But I will not stir from this place, do what they can. I will walk up and down here, and I will sing, and they shall hear that I am not afraid. The ousel cock, so black of hue, with orange tawny bill, the throstle with his note so true.
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed?
The wren with little quill, the finch, the sparrow, and the lark, the plains on cuckoo gray, whose note full many a man doth mock, and dares not answer nay.
Henceforth my minute comes when they spy. So at his side away, his fellows fly. I left them on this distracted feet. And trust me, hero is translated there. When in that moment so it came to pass, Titania waked and straightway loved an ass.
This was a venture and I could buy, but had thou yet me a mean pie, voluptuous as I did bid thee do.
I took him sleeping. That is finished too. And the Athenian woman by his side, when he awaked a fourth, she must be eyed.
Stand close. This is the same Athenian.
This is the woman, but not this the man.
If thou hast slain thy banner in his sleeve, the horseshoes in blood plunge in the deep, and killed me too. The sun was not so true unto the day as he to thee would he have stolen away from sleeping Hermia. Where is he? Long Demetrius, wilt thou give him me?
I had rather give his carcass to my house. You spend your passions on a misguided food. I am not guilty of Lysander's blood, nor is he dead, for aught that I can tell. And if I could, what should I get therefore?
A privilege never to see me born.
There is no following her in this fierce vein. Here, therefore, for one I will remain. So sorrows heaviest of heavy echo, for death that fragrant sleep comes sorrow. Which now in some slight measure it will pay, if for this tender ear I make some stay.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite. And they none of you sons and true of sight. About the world smitten and twin, and can not have it, look aside.
I go, look how I go, swifter than arrow from the prophet's
Flower of this purple tide, lit with Cupid's archer eye, sinking apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as glorious light as the Venus of the sky. When the waves of she repine, beg of her for a tide.
Captain of our fairy band, Lebanon is here at hand, and the youth is stood by me, waiting for a lover's fee. Shall we this our passion see? Lord, what fool these mortals be!
And the sun, the Lord lady of Demetrius to awake.
What should you think that I should win sworn? Should an prove them true.
It is a adventure going more and more. She took us to the surely pray. She knows our purpose will keep her heart. She will fight all the way. Goes to her and me, put into scarce living way, and both as light as tales.
Why should you think that I should know these wrong? Should any reason never come in? She and I have everything for one. She can make things go to the king.
Goes to her and me, put into scarce
Bearing the badge of faith to prove them true. Demetrius loves her, and she loves not you.
Spite, oh hell, I see you all are dead. You set your heads before your very bed. If you were civil and you courtesy, you wouldn't do me thus much injury. You do not hate me as I would, but you must join yourselves to love me too. If you were men, as men you already show, you would not use gentle ladies so. To love and serve and to grace my heart's wed. I am sure you hate me because the world rivals and will turn me on. I know rhymes to mock Helena.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so. For you love Hermia. This you know, I know. And here with all the will, with all my heart, in Hermia's love I yield you up my heart. And yours of Helena to be, whom I do love and will do till my death.
Never did mockers waste their idle breath.
I stand, keep thy Hermia, I will not, the all that love is gone. My heart does, yes, why so joy? And now to mine is in all return, back to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Disparage of the faith thou dost not know, lest thou right here. Look where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Thou art not by mine eyes this letter found. Mine ear, I think it brought me to thy sound. But mine eye, I didst thou leave me so.
Why should he stay whom love doth You.
Stop it! I saw a boy that recluse the game. Now I perceive that she hath made compare between her statues. She hath judged her height and shaped her personage, her tall personage. She hath prevailed with him. How am I, the painted thing? Speak! How am I am not yet so low but that my tales can reach unto thy oh, when she is angry, she is king. She was a vixen when she went to school. She was a little, and she was a little. She's fierce, and though she be but little, nothing but growing little. Why will you suffer to let me thus? Let me come to her. Let me come to her. Let me come to her. Come to her.
As one comes not within another way, till o'er their crowded counterfeiting steeds, with leaden legs and batty wings doth creep, then crush this herb into Lysander's eye. Up and down, I will lead them up and down. I am feared and feel it down. Goblin, lead them up and down. Here comes one. Where art thou, proud Demetrius? Speak thou now. Run and ready, where art thou? I will be with thee straight. Follow me then to play the ground.
Lysander, speak again! Thou run away, thou coward! Art thou fled?
Thou coward, thou art mad into the stars, telling the bushes that thou look'st for war, and wilt not come recreant, come thou child, I'll whip thee with a rod. He is deep defiled, that draws a sword on thee.
Yea, art thou there?
Follow my voice, will try no manhood here. Up, down, I lead them up, down, I fear and feel down, come and lead them up and down. There's me on, like curtain calls, then he is gone. The villain is much lighter here than I follow fast, but faster he fly. And fallen am I in dark uneven way, and here you'll rest me. Ho, 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 coward, why comest thou not?
Where art thou?
Come hither, I am here.
Thou mockest me, thou shalt I this year, if ever thy face my daily see. Now go thy way, fitness constraineth me to measure out my length on this cold bed. My days approach, look to be visited.
Yes, but free, come one more. Two of both kind makes up four. Here she comes, first and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad. Makes females mad.
Never so weary, never so weary, we dabbled with the dew and toyed with rivals. I can no further come, no further come.
peace blossom. Scratch my head, peace blossom. Ah. Where's Monsieur Cobweb? Give me your weapons, your weapons, give me your red-hipped humblebee on the top of a thistle, and good Monsieur, bring me a honey bag. Where's Monsieur Mustard Seed? Nothing, good Monsieur, but to help Cavalieri Cobweb to scratch. I must to the barbers, Monsieur, for methinks I am marbles hairy about the face, and I am such a tender ass. If my hair do but tickle me, I must scratch.
Welcome, good Robin. Seest thou that sweet sight? Her dotage I do begin to pity. I will undo this hateful end the fashion of her eyes. Be as thou wast wont to be. See as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bud or Cupid's flower, has such force and blessed power.
My overrun, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your love.
How came these things to pass? Oh, how mine eyes do loathe his visage now.
Silence awhile. Robin, take off his hand. Taunt young music call. And strike more dead than calming sleep of all these vital sands.
Music, oh, music such as chime and
Now when thou wakest with thy most soul's life keep, sound music. Come, my dream, take hands with me, and round the brown world these singers lead. Now thou and I are ruined, and the cheated will tomorrow midnight solemnly dance in Odysseus' drunk and the implicit with prosperity. The shallow cares of fatal lovers beware, Theseus' holy jollity. The shallow cares of fatal lovers beware, Theseus' holy jollity. huntsmen wake them with their horns. Good morrow, friends.
Pardon, my lord.
I pray you all stand up. I know you two are rival enemies. But perhaps is gentle concord in the world, that hatred is a far from jealousy, to sleep by hate and fear no enmity.
My lord, I shall reply amazedly, half sleep, half waking. But as yet, I swear, I cannot truly say how I came here. But as I think, I came with Maria hither. My intent was to be gone from Athens, where we might, without peril of the Athenian blood.
Enough, my lord, you have enough. I beg the law, the law. They would have stolen away, they would, Demetrius, thereby to have defeated you and me. You of your wife and me of my consent.
And lovers, you are fortunately met. By this discourse we will hear anon. Aegeus! I will overbear your will, for in the temple by and by with us, these couples shall be eternally knit. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3, we shall hold a feast in great solemnity. Come, Hippolyta.
Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that as we sleep, we dream.
Peter, please. Food with the bellows bender? Stout potato? Starlight? Thoughts my life? Stolen friends and left me asleep.
but in despite, we do not come as minding to content you. Our true content is of your delight. We are not here that you should here repent. You the actors are at hand, and by their show you shall go home at night.
His speech was like a tangled chain, nothing impaired, but all disordered. Who is this?
Thanks for this wall, she'll be well for this. But what see I? No Thisbe, no I see. A wicked wall, I see no place. Send me thy stones for thus deceiving me.
The wall, he thinks, being sensible, should curse again.
No, in truth, sir, she should not. Deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. Yonder she comes. I see a voice. Now will I to the chink to spy, and I can hear my
Here comes this me.
This is old Denise too. Where's my love?
Sweet moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining now so bright by thy precious golden glittering gleams. I trust to take of truest things beside. But stay, O spite, but mark, O night, what dreadful dole is here. Eyes, do you see? How can it be? O dainty duck, O dear, thy mantle good but stained with blood, approaching furies fair. O fates, cut thread and thrum, quail, crush, conclude, and quell.
Be true, my heart, for I pin the mail.
O wherefore nature midst the lion's frame, since lion vile hath here deflowered my dear, which is no, which was the fairest dame that loved, that lived, that liked, that looked with cheer. Come, tears, confound of sword and wound, the pap of Pyramus. I that left pap where heart doth hop, thus my soul is in the sky, tongue lose thy light, moon take thy flight. Now die, die.
How chance the moonshine is done before this becomes and finds her lover.
She will find him by starlight. She hath spied him already with those sweet eyes.
Asleep, my love. What? There
sound that.
Dum, dum, da, da, da.